Hey everyone, it's Tommy from the Goalie Crease Network, and today I am extremely excited to be showing you guys probably the best mask I have ever had painted. This is a mask specially painted by Franny Drummond at PaintZoo Studios. It's an absolutely fantastic mask, and we're going to go through the process, and then I'm going to show you some really cool close-ups of the mask. So, let's get started. Now, the process for getting your mask done by Franny is extremely easy, and I think it works out really well for the customer. So what you do is first, of course, you're going to email them with your general concept, and that can be as detailed or as conceptual as you want. I tend to be very detailed, and basically I want what I want, so that's really easy. Now, the other thing they're going to do is set you up with a graphic artist who is going to do a rendering of your mask, and that way you can see what it looks like prior to your mask being painted. Now, obviously, Franny does some awesome hand-drawn work in here, and it's absolutely great. And that might not always come through with the rendering absolutely perfectly, but at the same time, you're going to get a general concept for what your mask is going to look like. And that way, you have very accurate expectations for what your mask is going to look like at the end. So that was extremely easy. Now, in terms of timing, that can be dependent on how complex your mask is. So, for example, if you have an extremely complex mask and you end up doing several renderings with your graphic artist, that's going to take longer, of course. I think this one only took a couple of weeks to get rendered, and that worked out really well. Now, I know that's not a lot of detail about the process, but really, that's really about it. You just send in your mask after your rendering is done, and then he paints it. Now, as far as timing goes, of course, he's a big mask painter, so he does NHLers, and pros, of course, are going to get priority. Now, at the same time, it's not going to take forever to get your mask done either, like at some places. So I'm not saying it's going to be weeks, and it's probably not also going to be months, but at the same time, you have to set those expectations with Franny. Okay, so I know you guys definitely want to see the mask up close, so let's get to that next. Now, first I want to talk a little bit about the concept that I gave to Franny. Now, it might be a little bit difficult to discern, but first there is a tornado logo on the side of the mask. So you can actually see the bottom part of the tornado go towards the edge of the mask there, and then it comes up and wraps around the top of the head. Now, what I wanted here were several types of blue. So we see a very, very dark blue, and that almost looks black here. And there's also more of a royal blue and a little bit more of a light blue here. So you get these different shades of blue that gives it a lot of depth, and I really like that. Now, in addition, I had him put stripes along the bottom that really match what the jerseys are going to look like, and the numbering also resembles what the numbering is going to look like for the Tornadoes for next season. So that's pretty cool. Now, just to talk a little bit about the mask itself, it is an extremely awesome glass-like finish, not only around the mask, but also in each of the holes. They did a fantastic job sanding those down and making sure that it's a professional feel and look. Now, if we zoom in on the tornado, you can actually see an image in here. Now, if you've seen my other mask reviews, you know that I always like to put a hidden message or a hidden design in each mask. So for this mask, what I wanted to do was impart a little bit of St. Louis in it. So since this will be the St. Louis Tornadoes, I went ahead and put the gateway arch within the tornado logo. This was all hand drawn and hand painted by Franny, and this came out awesome. Another cool feature of this drawing is that you're actually looking up at the gateway arch, and I've actually played baseball underneath the arch, and this is a really cool perspective that really a St. Louisan might only appreciate. Now, like I said before, the numbers resemble the jersey numbers, and that works out really, really well. At the same time, I wanted a little bit of depth and a little bit of texture, and so Franny put a little bit of design in there that worked really well not only with the jerseys, but also the mask. Now, I also felt that it was extremely important for this mask to complement not only the dark jerseys, but also the white jerseys, and also my brand new pads that I'll be using for this team. So I wanted a mask that would complement both, and so we see here there is quite a bit of white space. However, I didn't want it to be just clearly white space. So Franny did a fantastic job putting in a design in here that was a little bit tribal and really complemented the rest of the mask as well. Now, I feel like goalies often treat the backplate of the mask like an afterthought, and really I like to make sure that it complements the overall mask design. So we see here an extension of the stripes from the front and the sides of the mask, and then we see my last name, Ames, right there in the middle in the same sort of fashion of the mask, and that works out extremely well. We also have the PaintZoo Studios logo down there at the bottom, and it looks fantastic down there.
So not only am I extremely impressed by the amount of artwork that Franny was able to accomplish and the way that he was able to translate my concept into a mask that complemented every single thing about this team and the jerseys, it is just a fantastic mask. And in addition, the amount of craftsmanship that went into it as well. This was previously painted, so he had to do a little bit of work to it. And then afterwards, we have this glass-like finish, not only on the very outside of the mask, but also within the holes. And that's the kind of commitment to perfection that Franny and PaintZoo Studios embodies. So I am extremely happy to recommend them for your next mask. So definitely check them out online at paintzoo.com, and good luck. I'll see you out on the ice.